Bro,
explain to me why I'm getting hate for.
Well, I haven't
not
even
wanting to speak on a situation
well
before he spoke on it.
I feel like this is what you're supposed to do when there's extra drama. So as you can see in the little clip that I shared in the beginning, we're going to get into the response from Marlon, but obviously a little bit of drama came from that as well. For anyone that doesn't know where we're at, I made a video about this, I think yesterday, and I'll put a link in the description, which is Marlon kind of being exposed by his girlfriend. I feel like exposed is like quotation mark kind of, because she ain't really exposed anything. She's mad at him, she's jealous, and she wants to try to drag him down. But one of the things that she did bring up was that he was selling his pictures to gay men, and he addresses that.
Hey, send a picture of a boxer standing like this in the mirror, looking stupid. Okay, I'll send that shit every day. What are you talking about? Let me relax. Let me calm down. Because I know I'm a hustle for my shit. Look at where the fuck I'm at now. And I'll do it again tomorrow. $1,000? 500, 200 there, 300 there. Brody, that's what I would make. That's what I would make in 2 weeks. You don't think I would take that? So yes. And you know what the crazy part is about this? He's not a man the guy who did this. I've been seeing this. And 3, how many times have I not told y'all I used to send pictures to anybody who wanted them? Yes or no?
Now, honestly, even without his explanation, I really didn't care about that. If I was at a point where I was getting offered $1,000 to send some ab pics, I'm gonna send a dick pic if you need it, like $1,000. Sign me up. Why do I care? This has nothing to do with me physically doing anything. And I mean, I guess like you may not want your junk out there on the internet. I'm not too concerned with that. If you're gonna hit me with $1,000, I'm totally down. I'm a hoe. That aside, he also addressed the homeless rumors, and his explanation makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. So here's what he said about that.
I was homeless in New York City. I took my last money that I had from Sweden, by the way, to go on a first flight to NYC to be able to stream there for a couple weeks to see if I could start getting the ball running, snowball effect. Pick up on the American culture, pick up on the American streams. I lived in a cell. It was about this big. But when I didn't have money for that, after a week of living in the cell, because I wasn't making any money because I took a risk, guess what I did? I took my suitcase, rolled it out, Madison Square Garden, stairs upstairs. There was a little shit like this. I put my suitcase right there, head rested, slept on it for 2 nights. But I wasn't homeless. You're right.
So based on what he said, when it comes to the homeless thing, I feel like it was more so an issue with people taking what he said and turning it into something more than him actually lying about it. Because if you're jumping from place to place and you're staying in these little spots and you don't have a place you really call home, you're technically kind of homeless, right? Like if I go to a homeless shelter, I'm under a roof, but I'm still homeless. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he really lied about it. And in all reality, he really only said I was homeless for those 2 days. I didn't have a place to stay. And so this is where I slept and this is what I did. But if you looked on the internet based on viewers and shit, people spun it in a way that made it sound like he was homeless for months and he would sleep by the train and wake up and stream and the dedication and the come up is crazy. And it just made it sound like so much more than it actually was. And so people think that he lied about it. But if he didn't say all of that, you can't just take what people say online and just believe that it's fact without seeing the person themselves specifically say it. Now, the more serious issue was these clips of him saying some wild shit about people being 12 and not caring. And his explanation was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And it makes sense because he's doing it on a live stream. Like I said, I have to believe you're not dumb enough to go on a live stream in real time, broadcast it to the world and be like, yeah, 12-year-olds. Like that just doesn't make sense. It makes more sense that you wanted to get some clickbait and you thought it would help you out. And it just kind of backfired now that you actually got attention. But here's what he said about that.
When I said those things, I thought it was okay to say those things because I wanted to blow up. I wanted to get the clip out there. I wanted to get that on TikTok. That's probably gonna get clipped everywhere. I thought my brain worked as in, okay, if I say the most ridiculous stuff ever, the internet will snap up like boom, boom, boom like this, and it'll be a snowball effect, and it'll be bigger and bigger. It's not how this world works, Marlon. But I never realized that until later on. But the later on is too late already. What's been done, what's been said has been done, right? So I said the most stupid shit ever. It's not okay. I do not stand by that. I'm not the same person anymore. I've learned along the way as I went by. It's not okay. And I want to say right here, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I would never ever say those things again. It's not okay to joke about it. It's not okay to say any of these things. It's dark humor, but that shit just doesn't go in this world. It shouldn't go in this world, and it should never be okay to say anyways, okay? And I'm sorry for it. I apologize. I take full accountability. That was 100% wrong, and I will never do it again.
And I'm sure despite him saying all of this, there's still going to be that handful of people that are going to continue to try to call him a pedo and try to say all these things. And that's just what people on the internet do. You find somebody that you don't like, and now you have a reason to not like them, at least in your mind. And regardless of the explanation of that stuff, you're going to hold on to that because that's the one thing you have that in your mind kind of tears this person down who's probably doing a lot more in life than you are. And so it makes you feel better about yourself to continue to push these narratives. And so it's going to happen. You just got to let that go. Now, the issue is he went on to call out people that didn't support him, and not even really didn't support him, but I assume either said some shit about him or just didn't reach out when they knew some rough shit was going on. And these are people that he probably talked to on a regular basis that suddenly disappeared. And because of this, some people started to feel some type of way. But before we get into that, this was what he said.
When shit happens, that's when the real emotions start coming out. Now you think I'm fucking stupid? I know exactly who is and who's not is. I sat back for one day, I said, okay, let me watch. Let me watch. I said, okay. Put my name in the notes right there. I know exactly who is and who not. And you know what the crazy thing is? I'm not even gonna say any names or nothing because y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know what? This industry is dirty. It is. And people will be there for you and people will not be there for you. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, no. Mods, you're good. Let chat happen. Just let it happen. Also, I want to say this respectfully. You don't know who has reached out to me on stream and who's not. So any names y'all spam, whatever, all of that shit, y'all will never know. Ever. But then there is certain names that y'all know because they spoke out on their streams or on shit like that, which is, you know what I'm saying, God bless them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never gotten so many calls and texts. I don't even know how people got my number. That's been texting me, calling me, make sure I'm good and everything like that. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, God bless every single person that did that. Every single person, because it truly truly showed their true colors. Like for real, like seriously though. And I promise you right now, there's names that y'all would never ever think in your world, genuinely biggest names in the world that you can think of right now in this industry that literally reached out to me, took their time out their day to call me and say, listen, you're good, this, that, and the other, like, are you okay? Like actually asking how I'm feeling, bro. But then there are people that didn't, which is fine. God bless you too. God bless you too.
And then he did go on to thank people that were there for them. The only names that he mentioned were Banks and Aiden Ross, but he thanked anybody that reached out to him, anybody that texted him, asked if he was okay. But here's where he was thanking a lot of people.
I don't want to sit here and say names because if I said names that was reaching out to me, whatnot, whatever, call me shit, it would literally like be the longest list ever because there was so much support. So I would say God bless y'all too. But shout out Banks, shout out Aiden, like for real, because they had a heart-to-heart talk with me, and I appreciate that more than anything in this world. I'm gonna be honest right now. So many people did, so many people talked to me, and I appreciate them too, but I'm not gonna sit here and say a list because that would look like I'll leave somebody else. Nah, I just want to say to them because they actually like had a talk, like, because they're like older brothers in a way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've been in the game for long, so they kind of like really talk to me, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that real quick.
Now, all that aside, there were some people that felt some type of way and thought that he was talking about them, even though he didn't mention any names, but the way that he kind of spun it and said that he sees who it is that's not really helping him and not being there for him, and the industry's cutthroat and you got to watch who you trust. And one of those people, or possibly the only person, because I haven't seen much else, was Jason the Ween, who is also in FaZe, who was the first person that I saw introduce him to FaZe, bring him on stream, and probably was a big part of him getting pushed even further in the streaming world and gaining a bigger following. And Jason kind of felt like he was being slighted.
Bro, explain to me why I'm getting hateful.
Well, I haven't even
wanting to speak on a situation.
Well,
before he spoke on it.
You know how those kick pages, they put the out of context clips.
Yo,
I mean,
why am I getting called a fake friend? I was the first person to bring the FaZe house, do all this shit with him, do all this content with him, help him get 100K, and I don't even care because I actually fuck with bro. right? I'm getting called a fake friend. I texted him off stream.
Did you really just come in my room?
Yes, bro, because he dead ass just hate farmed the fuck out of me. I said, yo, hope everything's
Well,
good.
wait,
bro.
before you say he hate from you, did you guys talk about it off cam?
Bro, what?
So this is an interesting topic for me to cover because I actually like Jason. I don't watch all of his streams, but for a while around the subathon when they did that in September and going forward for a bit, I watched a lot of his streams actually because I feel like he does bring some good content to the table. At the same time, I have to be honest, I feel like if somebody says some shit about people who didn't support him and so on and so forth, but doesn't name names and you feel like they were talking about you, I feel like deep down, you feel like you did something wrong. Because if I don't feel like I did somebody dirty, I'm not going to think that they're talking about me. That's how I feel at least. So I can't say this for sure, but I feel like a part of Jason thinks that he might have done something that he shouldn't have done. He might have not have been as supportive, or he kind of nodded it off in a way that kind of seemed very dismissive. And so he thinks that that must be about him. But the thing is, I don't really think that it was about Jason. Now, Marlon did call him after he said this on Ron's stream, and this was a clip of them talking.
Then it's just straight assumptions.
Exactly.
Exactly. So why are you
it's
saying that's a bro? I'm calling you right now, telling you how it is.
You're saying that now because you were implying me, bro. You were implying me. It's what I'm thinking.
What do you mean you were? Okay, wait. Why are you doing that? When you saying you were implying me, I never said anything. You know what implying means? It means that
Bro,
you're taking something.
80% of the chat was saying L Jason, and then you said mods. Let the
That's how
spam
you
happen.
think how it is. I never said
That's
anything
exactly
about
what
it.
happened.
Or like being.
Yeah, but did I ever say your name at all?
And although I understand where Jason's coming from, I feel like if the person themselves is telling you, listen, I did not mean you, that's all you need. Unless you don't trust this person or you don't consider them a friend, then obviously you're not going to buy into what they're saying. But Jason seems real steadfast on believing that this shit was about him. And now he thinks that Marlon is doing a 180 and trying to pretend that it wasn't because Jason brought it up on a stream. But I don't really think that's the case, because if we go back to the last couple of clips that I showed of Marlon, where he called people out and then also thanked people, he specifically said in one of those clips that I'm not talking about people that texted me, because there's a lot of people that texted me, asked how I'm doing, and shout out to you, like, I appreciate you.
I've never gotten so many calls and texts. I don't even know how people got my number. That's been texting me, calling me, make sure I'm good and everything like that. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, God bless every single person that did that. Every single person, because it truly truly showed their true colors. Like, for real, like, seriously though.
And in the video where Jason is on Ron's stream saying that he felt he was getting called out, he says that he texted Marlon. So if that's the case, then I feel like you should have listened to the whole clip. But it seems like Jason completely missed that and was so locked in on feeling like he did something wrong that he's taking it too personally. That's just my opinion. I can't say that for sure. And I'm not throwing him under the bus, because I still think Jason is dope. I think he's a great streamer. I think he's got a huge, bright future in streaming. But I feel like this is just a little misstep as far as like how to handle some shit amongst friends, because you must feel like you did something to truly have missed the part where he said, hey, if you sent me a message, I appreciate you, which to me negates you from being a part of the people that he was actually saying turn their back on him. Now, I understand where Jason's coming from in the sense that the chat was spamming L Jason, and he didn't say anything besides, mods, let it go. Let the chat do what they're going to do. But literally 30 to 45 seconds later, he says, you guys can put whatever names you want in there, but you'll never know. I'm not saying that those are like I don't remember exactly what he said, but he pretty much alluded to, I'm not confirming that that's who I'm talking about, and you guys will never know. So you could put whatever names you want, but that doesn't mean anything. So multiple times, in my opinion, he kind of made it clear that it's probably not Jason, and it's probably not anybody that chat was mentioning, and anybody that texted him or called him should be like, okay, I'm omitted from this, because he said that if we called or we texted him, he appreciates us and he knows that we're looking out for him and we actually care. So I don't know. It's a little extra drama. We'll see where this goes. I think that as soon as they talk offline, I feel like they'll chop it up. It's an easy thing to get past if you're friends, and it's not that big of a deal. But because it was happening while I was making this video, I feel like I need to add it in there. So let me know what you guys think down below. I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one, homies.